Okay, so my name's Andrew Hudson. I'm from South Africa, and I've been doing this sport for about 12, 13 years now. And I was always the typical really skinny teenager. I started off at about 130 pounds. I was a cyclist, and I've always been into sports and into sports and being active, and I was always outdoors and playing stuff. And then one day I walked into the gym because when I was a teenager, that's what all of the young guys used to do. And I saw a bodybuilder, and I just thought this was the coolest thing I've ever seen. So I walked up to the guy that was training this guy, and I said to him, "If I train really hard, do you think I could look like that?" And fortunately, he said to me, "Yeah, definitely." So from there, that was me sold, and I've basically been pursuing this ever since.
Okay. Tell us a little about your contest history, bud, and how you when you
Okay.
got your pro card.
Okay. So I started competing as a junior. I was 17 years old at my first contest, and I actually only heard about. I started training, so I only heard about it 2 weeks before the show. So I jumped on a diet. Some guy in the gym told me to eat hake and lettuce. So I ate. It's like a white fish in South Africa. Yeah. So I just ate hake and lettuce for 2 weeks, dropped 20 pounds, and entered the show. Came third there, and decided this is it. I've got to keep on pursuing this. So the next show I did was the Teenage Nationals, which I won that. And then the third show I did was the Junior World Championships, which was in Australia, which I won that as well. Then basically from there, once I moved into the open division, I was a guy. I placed 6th my first year, then the following year was 5th, then the next year was 3rd, then the next year was 2nd, right up until the top. Then I started to think about maybe I should pursue this as a profession. I used to see all the guys in the magazines, and I thought maybe I could hang with them. Well, I just wanted to test to see if I was good enough to hang with them. Which basically culminated in me entering into the Arnold Amateur last year, 2014, where I won the super heavyweight division, and they gave me my pro card because of that. Okay, so I was a qualified computer programmer, and I was just starting out. And around that time was when my bodybuilding career started to. I don't really want to call it a career, it was more like a hobby. But I just won the World Championships, I was going to the Mr. Universe, and I started thinking about long term, what do I want to do for a living, instead of, if I was a computer programmer, that didn't kind of tie in with my lifestyle. So I decided to then pursue personal training, which I did for 7-8 years. And then from there, it's just been a progression from that into going online, because obviously as a personal trainer you can't sit there and train clients and eat your food and do what you need to do. So I needed to find something that would allow me to eat food and get enough rest and all of that, and also to reach more people. As a personal trainer, I was working 13 hours a day, and it just wasn't working with the way of my bodybuilding career. So from there I just decided to start moving things into online. And there was a period for about 6 months where I trained. I'd wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning, go and do cardio, start work at 5 a.m, work from then until lunchtime, then I'd train. After that I'd work more clients, I'd get home at like 8 o'clock at night, go back and do more cardio, then start answering my emails from my online clients at around 10, 11. And then I'd get in bed by 12. So for about 6 months I slept for 3 hours a day. And sometimes people bitch and complain about, they can't do this or they can't do that, but when there's a will, there's a way, and you just have to do what you have to do sometimes. And right back then I realized that I had to get out of what I was doing, and I just did it.
If someone wants to try and get a hold of you, about what's the best way for your training business, or if someone's looking to contact you?
Okay, so I mainly work with a lot of females, and I've got a company called the Bikini Evolution, which my site's being built now, bikinievolution.com. So but my emails are active, so if you want to mail me, it's info@bikinievolution.com.
Okay. Well, good luck, and any plans for what shows you're going to be competing this year?
Yeah. So this year, John and I are looking at possibly doing Tampa, and a couple other shows around there, but we're obviously going to see how the season progresses, and we'll take it from there. Okay, so we started off with a seated leg curl. I really enjoyed it because we don't have a machine exactly like that back in South Africa. And it was just a couple of warm-up sets, doing sets of 8, working up to our max, and then a couple of partials and iso holds. And that really got my hamstrings fired up. So when it got to the leg press was next. They've got an awesome leg press here at EliteFTS, and we worked up to a pretty hefty weight there, with a drop set at the end. It was the rest pause. Yeah. So we finished off with a rest pause drop set. I didn't manage to get all the reps, but I'm sure you'll see in the video that we cranked it pretty hard until I couldn't push it anymore. So next up was a true squat. We worked up to 3 plates on there, and I started failing. I've never done that movement before, so it was something completely different for me, but man, I couldn't do it. But at the end there was just nothing left. We then went over to the Bulgarian split squat. That was pretty. It wasn't too bad for me because I'm used to doing that, and John's had me doing that quite a lot lately. But it's still brutal. Next we did sissy squats, which also that's another thing we don't have back home. So it was it was a learning experience for me, let's say. And then we just finished off with a couple of sets of leg extensions with some iso holds. And that's it.
Overall, pretty good workout then.
Pretty good workout. I'm sure I'm going to feel it tomorrow.
Go. 2 more. Come on. 2. Take a break. Breathe. 1 more. Go. There we go.